Okay, now the part everybody's been waiting for. When we get to the resolutions, as you can see, we have 6 major resolutions. We broke them up into what made sense, so you didn't have a 45-page resolution to vote on all at once. They are still kind of a package deal, they all work together, but we wanted to make sure each of the elements of this upcoming is individually reviewed, answered. Did you have a question, Brian?
No, I'm just waiting for the clipboard again.
Wait for the clipboard. I need to sign it too. Like I said, we have 6 resolutions. The resolutions are on the table. We've color-coded them so that when we talk about them, we know which one. We're not trying to deal with semantics. We're just doing with color. Once Brian distributes the ballots, I cannot sign my name and write at the same time, or I will be signing Brian's name when I say. Or if anyone else has done that, I'll sign my maiden name on a check or something stupid. We have one over there still. So the ballots are going to have your name on it. These are not secret ballots. And this is because the Department of Justice, when they close down a nonprofit, wants to make sure that this is all done above board and fair. And we're not going to post the names, but we do need to have those for the record when we submit the final paperwork to the Department of Justice. It is fine.
Okay, I'm going to bring these to your table. They have, as she just mentioned, names on them. Make sure the right person gets the ballot.
Make sure the name on the top is your own name and not your neighbor's name. He has put them together by table.
So, I just got to find the key person that's on top. Chris, did I just walk by? And if you end up with a ballot at your table that no one is sitting at, please let me know.
So no extra ballots should be floating around. Make sure you let Brian know. And we're handing these out ahead of time. We're going to go through the resolutions one at a time. I will read them, and then we can discuss them. Like I said, we have copies for you to read, so you also have them. And then you can either mark it as we go through, or you can mark them all at the end. We're not going to, come by to check when you're making your mark.
How did that work out?
So we're ready, Brian? Okay, the first resolution.
Does everyone have their yellow sheet with their name on it? Okay, and there's no extras out there. Great. Yes,
I forgot. Am I reading all at once? Am I reading one and then discussion?
is at your discretion.
If I read them all at once, no one's going to remember what I said on the first one. Especially with the first one. So the first resolution is actually the building sale amendment. As you know, there's other special congregations, we approved the building sale to mano a mano for the set price. The price has not changed. The ultimate user has not changed, but the contract has changed to the Final Service Housing Development Corporation. Because of that change, we will need to vote on it yet again. Now, Brian.
And if you're very interested in, on your table, there are only one copy of these on the table. There is the actual purchase and sale agreement that we approved. That's about 10 pages long. It's in white. There's the amendment, which is what the resolution is voting. It's in a deep purple. It's 3 pages. We highlighted the change in the amendment in the actual light pink resolution.
Did everybody get that? Okay. I will read resolution number 1, is the building sale amendment. Be it resolved that Mono Family Center, which we'll call Mono, shall be allowed to assign the purchase and sale agreement to Farm Worker Housing Development Corporation, pursuant to the terms of the third amendment to purchase and sale agreement, a copy of which is on file with Holy Cross Lutheran Church of Salem, Oregon. The assignment retains all the original provisions of the agreement with the following changes. At closing, Mono will pay $179,500. At closing, Farm Worker Housing Development Corporation will pay $1 million. Farm Worker Housing Development Corporation will become the owner of the church property. The Farm Worker Housing Development Corp. and Mono will enter into a lease agreement which grants Mono an exclusive option to purchase the property at a price equal to or less than $1 million, exclusive of interest, with all lease payments credited towards the purchase price. A copy of that lease agreement will be on file with Holy Cross prior to the closing of escrow. So on your ballot, we ask you to vote yes to approve, no to not approve, or you may abstain from voting on the resolution. Do we have any questions or concerns? Yes, Chris.
So this resolution will take us completely out of the ownership of this building.
Yes. Once the sale is completed, we will be done with ownership.
I'd like to know more about the farm workers housing development.
That more than what was at the presentation? We don't have her here yet. We had questions, the presentation and questions beforehand. I don't have the specific information.
What's your question?
She just wants to know more about Farm Worker Housing Development Corporation.
Yeah, they had lots of houses.
Talk to the group.
I'm gonna let Steve answer
They
this.
had lots of houses. They had lots of houses listed, but do we know if those are discriminate? Are they only for farm workers or other workers available for them? Poverty is a huge thing among the farm workers and others. Is it exclusively for farm workers? And how do we know, what do we know about them as a corporation?
What we know is that FHDC has been around for a very long time. They have partnered with, and as they showed us, a number of different organizations. They not only build low-income housing, and it's, as I think I mentioned, it's not just for Hispanic folks, but for indigenous folks and people that are on hard time. They're trying to reduce the housing crisis that we have in this state and in this country. They are not exclusively involved in building homes. That's just one of their tasks. They're also involved in partnering with Mono in their ventures, and others who are part of the alliance that they describe. And the leadership is confident that they are very, very tied to Mono and want them to succeed. The lease agreement that they presented to us showed that every single lease payment that Mono would be making to FHDC would be credited toward their purchase price of $1 million, and they Mano a Mano and FHDC really want this venture to succeed.
And I will add, one of the reasons we haven't come here is because first thing I did when I heard they were doing this was get online and go, okay, what's their website look like? And I saw a lot of houses, a lot of apartment buildings. And that's why we have taken a lot of conversation about where they're going with it, done a lot of background on it, because yes, I have the same concerns. And that is exactly why we asked them here. Any other questions? Behind it.
Since this is an assignment from one party to another party, where does Holy Cross stand as far as potential liability on another person picking up the contract?
The contract is between those two organizations. We don't have any involvement or liability. Like I said, we were doing this so that we had our due diligence. We knew there would be a lot of concern about the use of the building, and we wanted to be comfortable. We don't want to hold on to it, but we want to be comfortable with the people buying it. And no, we're not a part of that agreement. We just wanted to make sure it was in place before we sold it. Anything else? Okay. Are we ready for resolution number 2? All right. Hey, this one's shorter, much easier to read. This one has to do with the date of final worship. We have talked to, it's the blue sheet, really. Blue sheet actually has 2 of the resolutions on it, they're that short. But it's resolved that Holy Cross Lutheran Church of Salem, Oregon shall conduct its final worship service on February 15th, 2026. And as on your ballot, you can vote yes to approve, no to approve, or abstain from voting. I will add that this was planned in connection with Christ the Good Shepherd. It will also be their final day of worship. Any questions? After you scratched your head, I'm almost thinking you bid on it. Okay, are we ready for resolution number 3? Also on the blue sheet, doubled up to save paper. And this has to do with the actual corporate dissolution. And that takes longer than the final. We've got, things, you get the resolution and all that. Resolved that Holy Cross Lutheran Church of Salem, Oregon declare our intention to cease operations and dissolve as an active religious corporation on or before December 31, 2026. And as before, yes, no, or abstain. This is the actual legal one, for which we are very thankful. We have Steve Tweed here, because there's a lot of paperwork to be filed with the Department of Justice and Secretary of State that has to do with corporate dissolution. And so this is giving our intention as required, our notification that we want to cease, and we hope to have all the paperwork done by December, preferably soon. Are there any questions about this? Are we ready for resolution 4? Diana, show us the yellow sheet. Here. It's the yellow, lemon yellow. We decided not to use lemon yellow, buttercup, goldenrod. So this is resolved that the following individuals will serve as trustees of Holy Cross Lutheran Church of Salem, Oregon. That would be Brian Stewart. I'll have you raise your hand. Lorraine Odell, Margot Benson, Kathy Mears, and Steve Tweed. Further resolved that the trustees shall complete the legal closure of Holy Cross Lutheran Church of Salem, Oregon by filing articles of dissolution with the Oregon Corporation Division, paying all bills, requesting approval from the Oregon Department of Justice to disperse all remaining Holy Cross property, and dispersing that property once approval is obtained. By completing such other necessary duties or tasks, the trustees are authorized to hire professionals, including legal counsel, at the discretion of the trustees. Any trustee is authorized to sign such documents and checks as may be required to complete these tasks upon approval of the other trustees. As before, yes, no, or abstain. Are there questions?
Does there need to be an alternate or something, or is 5 a magic number, or is 5 more than you?
The question is if there's an alternate, if the 5 is the magic number, or do we need more? I'm gonna ask Steve or Brian to answer that.
There is no magic number. You can have a number between 3 and a workable number. We just took 5 because that has been our tradition here.
Right. Makes sense.
Are we ready for resolution 5? That's the salmon colored one, peach, whatever you want to call it. And this is the endowment fund disposition. Resolved that the Holy Cross Lutheran Church Endowment Fund, currently held at the ELCA Foundation Ministry Growth Fund, be gifted and transferred to the Oregon Synod Endowment Fund. So on your ballot, you can vote yes, no, or abstain. We have included 2 definitions below that. They're not part of the resolution, but they're information about what the Synod Endowment Fund is. Because as you know, or may or may not know, Holy Cross has an endowment fund. I believe it is what's been used to fund our scholarships and any educational programs. And so we have that money, we want to transfer it to an organization that would continue that type of work. And that was the Oregon Synod Endowment Fund. Okay, the last resolution, number 6, is on the green. Green for money, of course, even though our money is no longer just green. And that is resolved, the Holy Cross Lutheran Church of Salem, Oregon shall distribute proceeds from the sale of the church property to organizations and charities listed below. This plan, if approved by the Holy Cross congregation,